Welcome to the S-Man Storybox podcast and stories telling. Dive into captivating stories filled with life lessons, love, friendship, family dynamics, and emotional twists that resonate deeply. From scandalous dramas to spiritual wisdom, we deliver insights to inspire, heal, and transform. Here's what we offer: heartfelt tales and life lessons, stories that inspire and transform wisdom, true stories, twists of life and love, emotional journeys that move the soul. Whether you're looking for motivation, life advice, or just a great story, this is your storytelling haven. Subscribe now and join the S-Man Storybox family because every story we tell could be the one that changes your life. Let's keep learning, growing, and sharing one story at a time. The tale of Uzima, the broken mirror. Long ago, in the heart of the African continent, there was a land known as Uzima, a name meaning fullness of life. Uzima was blessed with vast landscapes, rich soils, vibrant cultures, and wise elders who held the stories of the land. It was a place of abundance and unity until the winds of colonization swept through its valleys and hills. The shattering of the mirror, the colonizers, wielding swords and words, convinced the people of Uzima that their traditions were backward and their knowledge primitive. The mirror of their identity was shattered, and the pieces were scattered. Over decades, Uzima's wealth was drained, its culture diluted, and its people divided. When the colonizers left, they handed the shards of the broken mirror to a select few, individuals who were taught to see Uzima through the colonizers' eyes. These individuals became the new leaders. They promised freedom but found themselves entangled in invisible chains. The leaders of the new dawn. These leaders, known as the Wachaguliwa, the chosen, were faced with choices. Some sought to rebuild Uzima's identity, while others sought comfort in the familiarity of the colonizers' ways. They borrowed heavily from their former rulers, adopting foreign governance systems, languages, and economies. Over time, the Wachaguliwa began to look less like the people they represented and more like their former masters. They dressed in foreign suits, spoke foreign languages, and implemented policies that alienated their own people. They struck deals that drained Uzima's resources, leaving its people impoverished. A question from the youth. One day, a young girl named Nia stood before the Wachaguliwa. Her name meant purpose, and she was filled with questions. Why do you sell our land to those who enslaved us? Why do you value their validation over our well-being? Why do you destroy our histories, cultures, and futures for fleeting gains? Her voice echoed through Uzima, and the people began to murmur. Nia continued, what do you hope to gain from this betrayal? Is it power, wealth, or fear that drives you? Do you not see that you are breaking our hearts and our land? The shadows of fear and greed, the elders whispered among themselves. Some said the Wachaguliwa were trapped in a cycle of dependency, afraid that without the approval of their former rulers, Uzima would collapse. Others argued that greed had blinded them, that they sought personal wealth over collective prosperity. A wise elder, Mama Amani, spoke. It is both fear and greed that drive them. They fear losing the comfort and protection of those who once ruled us. They are greedy for riches, forgetting that true wealth lies in the strength and unity of our people. They have forgotten their roots. The call to action. Naya raised her voice once more. Then we must remind them. We must gather the pieces of our broken mirror and rebuild it. Let us honor our histories, celebrate our cultures, and reclaim our lands. Let us demand leaders who serve the people, not foreign powers. Her words ignited a fire in the hearts of Uzima's people. They began to organize to educate themselves about their history and rights. They demanded transparency and accountability from their leaders. They formed alliances across communities, recognizing that unity was their greatest strength. The healing of Uzima change did not come overnight, but it began with the questions Nia asked. The Wachaguliwa were forced to confront their actions and the legacy they were leaving behind. Some stepped down, while others began to listen to their people. Uzima slowly began to heal. The people planted seeds of hope, watered them with unity, and watched as the land flourished once more. The mirror of their identity was not the same as before, but it reflected their resilience, wisdom, and determination. Questions for reflection. 1. Why do you think some African leaders prioritize foreign interests over their own people? 2. What role does historical trauma play in shaping leadership and governance in post-colonial nations? 3. How can the youth of Africa challenge systems of corruption and dependency? 4. What lessons can be learned from traditional African governance systems in rebuilding modern states? 5. What steps can individuals take to preserve and celebrate their culture in the face of globalization? This story invites readers and listeners to think deeply about the complexities of leadership, the scars of colonization, and the power of collective action. Hit subscribe and turn on those notifications because there's so much more to share, and I want you right here with me for every lesson and twist along the way. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And most of all, thank you for being part of the S-Man Storybox family. Let's keep learning, growing, and sharing one story at a time. See you in the next video.